Good evening, this is the Oscar expert here with Brother Bro, and it's time for updating Oscar predictions. We have the Fall Fest coming up very soon, we'll be attending TIFF, and we have all the lineups, we know what's going, the pieces for the rest of the year are becoming visible, and so this is a great time to update our predictions and lock in before the festival so we can say that we called things or not.
I also want to announce that Award Expert has undergone a lot of major updates recently. The major one is you can now post and comment on your predictions. You can explain your reasoning for why you're doing something. And you can also explore what other people are thinking and what they're saying in the app, which is really cool. I feel like it's unlocked a new way for people to have this conversation about the Oscars in a space where people aren't going to be hostile to you for obsessing over the Oscars too early. So, it's just a good place to share Oscar information and insights and reasoning. And, there's more updates to come. It's the first version of it. So, next versions will get better. But let's get started. Just do a big old Best Picture update, right?
There's nothing new to say about Sinners,
Right.
but I do still have it at number one because I believe in its ability to win SAG Ensemble, DGA,
Yeah.
PGA, and WGA.
Right. There's a solid case for it. Probably don't need to elaborate because we've done so in other videos. But, I know there's a little bit of rumbling hey, will the Oscar voters really love this movie? Is this their kind of film? The buzz is so strong in the sphere of Twitter, but also I can't really find a space where there's not good buzz. The IMDb score is very good. Besides anecdotes, right? Besides oh, well, I talked to this voter and they didn't like this. Where is the movie not well liked? I remember having this conversation about Everything Everywhere All at Once. You look at IMDb, you look at Rotten Tomatoes, or you look at Twitter, look at LETTERBOXD, and everybody seems in agreement about it and singing in unison about how it's a really strong film. So I don't think this is going to be a big problem for it, winning over the Oscar voter. And also because you don't need to have the majority of Oscar voters thinking you're the best film of the year. You just need to have the highest amount of people surrounding your film with passion, right? That's kind of what happened with Honora. It's not more than 50% of people said that was the best picture
I'll
of
tell
the
you
year.
this. Let's take ourselves back to the believability of Honora and Everything Everywhere winning Best Picture when we didn't think that was going to happen, or early in the year before it was oh, now I can kind of see it and I'm justifying it now that I know it's happening. Take yourselves back. I actually feel it's easier to see Sinners winning than those movies. I imagine those movies being a little more divisive.
I definitely had more friction putting Honora at number one than I did putting this movie at number one.
I just think that it's a very rare original movie that has become instantly part of the zeitgeist. It's the highest grossing original film of this decade pretty much. So it just is that.
Yeah.
It's not really a question.
I think nobody doubts the nomination
very
potential,
zeitgeisty.
but there's the only, debate is, does this get 8 nominations? Does this get 12 or 13? And I gotta say, I'm just leaning towards the higher count at this point because it's just in line with how I've seen the other films similar to this go. They tend to pick up even more momentum at the end of the day. It doesn't die down.
Also, the social relevance is a factor.
Right, that's the main thing.
I don't think there's going to be another movie that has that box checked as boldly.
That being said, we're kind of coming out of the 2016 to 2020 era where it felt social relevance was a huge factor in deciding on the best picture films. I feel we're not quite there as much these days. I see less films being pushed with that front and center. However, we do have Trump back in office. If people do look to art and messaging and trying to say something with a vote. Yeah, I think Sinners maps on decently to that, and I don't really see another film that's trying to do that. So, at least in the list of the contenders that I'm seeing. So, again, I think this is a totally justified number one. I actually believe that it could win. I think it could, even just thinking about SAG Ensemble, all we have to do is just look at that, and then if we can acknowledge it can win SAG Ensemble, we have to acknowledge it's probably 1, 2, or 3.
The guilds are going to be obsessed with it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It'll get 50 Critics' Choice nominations.
The only con I would say is that maybe the movie is not as likely to make you cry as other movies we might get. Sentimental value, perhaps.
No, it doesn't have everything going for it. It's just that it has enough things. It has a lot of things. I do think it matters that the film could potentially be off-putting to an older person who's not...
stop. That's
whatever.
done.
Okay, yeah,
that's
whatever.
literally been said about
Right.
Honora and Everything Everywhere.
Yeah,
It's done.
fine. Okay. I currently have it in 13 categories. I'd probably say it's probably going to be
Also,
12.
when it gets 12 or 13 nominations and it's the nomination leader on Oscar
It could just get
morning,
11 or 12. Let's not be when it gets 13.
Okay, but when it's the leader, that's top 3. If you're a leader of the nomination, you're just top 3.
The other film I could see leading the nominations if it's really good is Marty Supreme. I could see that getting double digits. I actually have it predicted for 10 right now. But other than that, I don't see any juggernaut huge nominated films unless, unless I'm kind of surprised by something.
Sentimental value could max out at like 10.
Yeah,
Max
I
out.
have 10
Max
nominations for it. We have it at number 2 because it just played really well at Cannes. I don't really think this is going to win, but it's not an unpopular opinion that it could win. Like, I do see 24% of people have this predicted to win, and you know, like, I don't quite see like the push or like the narrative drive behind getting this movie a win for Best Picture. I just see it as being like a very secure nomination.
Well, the thing is that you can imagine that it could win screenplay. It could win at least one acting award.
I'll totally give you that. That's totally fair.
I think maybe it's easy for people to imagine because Neon pulled this last year with Anora, but I think you rarely get 2 years in a row where it feels like kind of the same thing is happening, especially like, 2 years in a row where a studio wins is kind of crazy. So what could Sentimental Value win? Like, I could see it maybe winning Golden Globe Drama. That's also versus Sinners. I could see it winning Critics' Choice, but I actually still think Sinners.
I think Sinners would win Critics' Choice.
They would like it a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe BAFTA. I think BAFTA wouldn't go for Sinners. Maybe
BAFTA
they'll go
and
with
Golden
like,
Globes just might not go for Sinners, and that's like totally okay in my opinion.
Yeah, that's super strong contender. 3 to 4 acting nominations. Marty Supreme with the new trailer.
Yeah,
I mean, I think everybody's sold on this. This looks like Oscar bait, and we didn't think that we'd see that from a Safdie brother, but. It's kind of like we were saying. A24 put a lot of money behind this movie. It's a period film. It's a kind of a sports movie, semi-biopic, kind of a fictionalized but somewhat loosely based biopic. A24 is not putting $70 million or whatever they spent behind a Christmas movie that has no audience potential. Timothée Chalamet in the lead role. Like, I think this will do pretty well. It'll probably be one of their highest grossing movies. It'll make a big splash. I have no reason to doubt this. I mean, the trailer is kind of playing it up as a rousing, like, epic drama, and kind of a sports drama. It makes it kind of fun for people. They want to go see that shit. Your parents might even think that this looks like a movie for them. And, whether or not it squarely is that, I think it will at least be partially that. It will probably be a little bit more of a farce. It'll probably have a little bit more of the stressful, like, chaotic elements, but still is going to be reasonably, like, categorized as an Oscar bait movie.
I think it could be a film that there's a consensus around, like, this is an 8 out of 10, but it's just really likable, really agreeable, and nobody dislikes it. So it's
I think people will go higher. I just don't imagine with an auteur filmmaker, people are going to stop.
I agree. I think it's gonna have a great Letterboxd score.
Metacritic's gonna, like, the critics are gonna eat it up. It's all gonna be good ratings.
But it might even be the kind of film where even if it gets like an 81 with critics, it won't matter because it's kind of a crowd pleaser.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the worst case scenario for this one is like it's Babylon and Critics' Choice go nuts, or First Man, and then it doesn't do that well there on out.
I mean, that would be shocking, but you're right. Like it could be like some kind of juggernaut that falls off the wagon. But it is kind of hard to imagine that because Babylon was like,
imagine.
I mean, it was hard to imagine about Babylon.
Babylon made $5.50.
That was kind of like a movie that people just actively did not like. And this looks like very likable. You might be surprised to learn, and I guess we could save this for the Best Actor category, but he is number 1 by a lot in the app right now. By a lot.
I get it. If he's a top contender in Best Actor, and then you have all these texts that it can go for by being like a well-crafted period film, like, there you go. There you go. Also really high on our list is Jay Kelly. I have it at number 3. Jay Kelly just seems positioned as Netflix's number 1. It's the only movie that they're bringing to 3 film festivals.
Yeah, I think it's obviously their number 1. It's basically a statement of fact, it seems. Like, they've released a Vanity Fair article hyping up basically the 2 male lead performances.
Mostly
mainly.
A lot of George Clooney hype there.
A lot of George Clooney hype.
For his comeback narrative hype, how he's playing
trying
himself.
to spin this narrative about how this is like the performance of a lifetime, and it's kind of a culmination of like both George Clooney as a person and where he's at, and also like his career. Then you got Adam Sandler here, who the narrative of him looking at his first Oscar nomination, I mean, it would definitely come to fruition if this movie's in Best Picture. Like, he's a strong supporting presence, probably the most likely outside of Clooney to get an actor nomination, and that's also evident from the Vanity Fair article. It really does feel like all systems go on Jay Kelly, and it would be weird if their confidence was like totally unfounded and people just start watch the movie and they're like, oh, it's just okay.
Well, I mean, that's also not consistent with like, we have test screening reactions that are like, yep, this is the real deal. Like, everyone's going to love this movie.
No, I have no indication to think otherwise about it. It looks really good.
This is one of the ones that, like, even though it hasn't premiered, it does feel like a slam dunk at this point. And it would be
we can't say
absolutely
anything's a
shocking.
slam dunk.
I would say it feels the most like a slam dunk out of anything that is yet to premiere.
What about Marty Supreme? I think they're kind of both neck and neck.
Yeah, it's similar, but Jay Kelly just being like, you know, right about to premiere at all these festivals, I think is big. This is just an Oscar package in that it has a filmmaker they're familiar with and who's been nominated. It has actors in it who have won Oscars and like have great narratives for repeat or first time nominations. Just that whole like package. And, you know, I think other films have this too, like the Sentimental Value has this great package for like the actors and the filmmakers, and Marty Supreme as well. Like that's kind of what you got to look for a lot of times. Yeah. And so for number 5, we have Rental Family, which we've been kind of skeptical about because we don't really, because the director is not really proven in feature filmmaking. We knew that Searchlight had it. And of course, Searchlight's a studio that almost every year has a contender. And we're wondering, is this really their contender that they're going to go with? And now it's all systems go.
Yeah.
It's that they're premiering at TIFF. They're screening a lot. Yeah. They're going to win the People's Choice Award. Like, that's what at least they're going for. And I don't see it being that hard for them to do. When the trailer came out, there was a lot of interest. Like, oh, I want to see this movie. This looks like an interesting premise that I just want to go see it and I want to cry. And like, everybody was really on board with it. I think that there's going to be a lot of goodwill towards this movie.
Sure, why wouldn't there be? It seems like an enjoyable enough film with a big heart and a very charismatic performance from Brendan Fraser. Like, there's nothing not to like here. TIFF absolutely fucking loves Brendan Fraser too. Like, the applause that he got after The Whale was absolutely enormous. And I know that was like the comeback role, but I think people are going to be just as happy with him this time around. This is such a TIFF movie. The combination of gonna make you cry, gonna make you laugh. Like, that's exactly what the TIFF audience loves to see. That was Life of Chuck. Feel good movie, tearjerker in the end. You know, maybe has like a theme of family.
This is going to be like my mom's favorite movie of the season.
Right.
And that's not even going to be close. Like,
and we welcome it. We welcome a good mom film. Solid. And also, Brendan Fraser really convinced me from the trailer that he's going to get an Oscar nomination.
Yeah, and you're probably going to have somebody supporting as well. Like, it just seems easy. It's not going to get 10 nominations, but it's going to be very in there. It's for the people who want a good cry, and I think it will be a big hit. Yeah. It's going to be a big hit.
I mean, the only thing it has against it and why it's below like Jay Kelly and Marty Supreme for me is that it just has kind of a lower nomination package.
It's like not getting director.
Yeah, it's going to get picture, screenplay, actor, and some kind of supporting actor, and that
maybe casting.
Maybe casting.
And editing's a long like it's just not
editing's a long shot. And then there's maybe score, right? American Fiction got score.
That's a maybe.
So why not?
The score is done by Yonsei and Alex Summers.
So that's kind of it. Like, and you know, with casting, it kind of does feel a little bit more rounded out.
What do you have at number 6? I got Springsteen.
I have Wicked for Good.
Because I think Springsteen's ahead of that. I think Springsteen's ahead of that.
I mean, I don't really
care.
Let me
explain myself.
Number 7.
Springsteen's coming out in October. They are doing a Telluride premiere, which I think is confirmed now.
Yeah.
And then they're going to go to NIF. Like, this is good enough. It shows that they're confident enough to premiere it at a festival over a month out, which they don't have to do, as it is also a commercial play.
I mean, what was a Complete Unknown strategy? They didn't
do festivals. NIF, right? They just came out at the end of the year. And it worked really fucking well, didn't it?
I don't think this is a slam dunk.
No.
Jeremy Allen White seems like he'll get an Oscar nomination, and hey, look, there's just a possibility that the movie is underwhelming for people, right?
There's been a pattern, though.
Like, and there's a possibility that the movie is mid, but there's also a possibility that it's mid and it still gets in.
But the pattern has been that, like, if you're in a music biopic and you're a lead actor and you get nominated, your movie comes along. It's been a pattern.
Obviously, if the movie gets nominated, of course.
It also, like,
but I'm saying, like, the movie might not have the chops.
It has a major sound designer who can get a sound nomination for the movie. Like, Adapted's not that crowded. And,
right.
Like, it just seems like it can get in, and maybe there's a supporting actor as well.
I do think it's, like, definitively bottom 5.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's why number 6.
Well, Complete Unknown might have been number 5. It was probably top 5.
Complete Unknown really went up there.
That was top 5.
But I don't... I have a little bit of a hard time believing it's going to be as like liked across the board as
honestly, dude,
because that was a really.
I mean, I agree that like I don't know what it was that like people thought the movie was that good, but I think I might like this movie better just based on the subject and how it seems very intimately involved in like the songwriting process and like getting down to like the personal stuff, which is actually something that Complete Unknown kind of left him a little bit ambiguous, like internally, kind of purposefully so. But I like what this is going for as far as I can see.
Now, Wicked for Good, we can talk about. It kind of feels like it has a Best Picture nomination coming through the door, and it really has to disappoint for it not to get that nomination, right? If it's slightly less good than the first, but people still love it, it could still round out a Best Picture top 10 and just get like not 10 nominations, you know, get like 5 or 6.
Kind of like a Way of Water or whatever.
So what needs to happen for this to just not get nominated is my question. I mean, it has to be like significantly less liked, and then people have to not care about Wicked. But like when it comes out, it's Wicked Palooza all over again.
Well, some people are anticipating that the second half is just not as good as the first, not as exciting,
Sure.
but I think that they are very aware of that. It seems like adding some new songs, and they're going to take their time building out the second half because it's its own full movie. So it actually may exceed people's expectations.
Yeah, there you go. It's
as
kind
the
of good
second
that people
half
are like going in thinking it's going to be worse.
I feel like it's going to live up. I just feel like they seem to deliver everything that people wanted for the first half, and I don't really know why it would go so wrong.
I feel like they were playing it safe, but also taking like the right amount of artistic liberties to like deliver, you know, what was probably the best version of the first film. Ultimately, it's up to the audience, right? To like bring Wicked home, to smash the box office, and then to get it the awards buzz. Like, it really matters what the audience
They'll come
thinks.
out for it.
I don't see a reason to not have Wicked for Good in.
So Begonia, it has moved down significantly. And honestly, mainly it's because this was not announced for TIFF and NIFF. Now, this isn't just because I'm super bitter about that. It's because I don't know why the hell it's not doing that.
If it was at Venice Telluride NIFF, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. If it was Venice Telluride TIFF, I'd be like, wow, that's a lot. Like, they're really confident. They want to bring it everywhere. But it's just Venice Telluride. It feels like it's kind of missing something. With Jay Kelly, like, we see Netflix bringing it to 3 festivals. That feels like a full-throated endorsement that this is like their horse, and they're just confident that wherever they bring it, it will carry buzz with it. But seeing Begonia not go to NIFF really shocked me, because Poor Things did extremely well, and all they had to do, right, in theory, is replicate the Poor Things strategy, and everything should be okay. And Poor Things did go to NIFF. But I also want to add that I don't think taking a film to just 1 or 2 festivals and like kind of spreading your chips, like Hamnet goes to TIFF, I think that's just a strategy that studios are implementing this year. And I think the reason they are doing it is because they don't want a movie to peak early. So they don't want everybody to see this and get like showered with awards and then like slowly, you know, just go downhill from there. Like, they don't want that to happen.
Unless it's true, though, that it got rejected by NIFF.
That seems unlikely. You know, I think Netflix like realized that with this like Roma Power of the Dog, like these number 2 contenders, that if you kind of kill it at the fall fests and you come out as the front runner, like you kind of have a target on your back. And we haven't seen a film triumph at the fall festivals and then go on to win Best Picture in a long time. When was the last time it happened?
Yeah, but they don't think Begonia's gonna win, do they?
I'm just saying it's true in general about these films. Like, it's the reason that Jay Kelly's not a TIFF. It doesn't just apply to Begonia. It applies to, like, every film.
Well, I'll say this.
There are no films going to all the festivals.
The fact that there's only 2 films doing 3 festivals, it's like, we're really gonna hold that against Begonia, but then not hold it against anything else. Like, okay, that would seem a little unfair.
No, but like it makes sense in Rental Family's case, right? Like Rental Family is a film in my predictions, but like it makes sense that they only wanted to go to TIFF because Venice is kind of a different audience. Like they highly curate where they screen their films to what the audience is like and how the reception's going to be.
Yorgos at New York Film Festival has been a hit.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
It's a different studio though than the Favorite and Poor Things.
That's why, like, I totally get not bringing it to TIFF. I totally get that.
You don't have to do it.
It's
but like,
probably
you're
not the
gonna
best
withhold
idea.
that from NIFF.
Yeah, why
like,
NIFF?
I don't get it.
Venice is kind of like a small group of critics, and they are capable of really hyping something up. And we can see that buzz can die down as more audiences are exposed to it. And like that's kind of the reason to bring something to Venice. You think it's going to kill it with a room full of critics. True. Like it's true about Joker. I mean, that thing.
So you're saying that Begonia is going to kill it then?
I think Begonia is going to do really well. It's going to have a great screening at Venice, but it's going to be less clear that everybody loves it or like that it's Yorgos' best film.
I think we'll be able to tell if it's like B+ Lanthimos or if it's on par with like...
But listen, I'm telling you, like, this is just what I think is the reason they're not going to NIFF. No, I just don't see any other reason not to go to NIFF. You know, the film's package on its best day might be like picture, director, screenplay, Plemons, score, right? Like, it's a smaller package than his other films. I'm having a hard time to understand what to do with Begonia, but at the same time, I want to have a Focus Features film in here, and I see it, and I still think this is like the best bet.
Focus Features is on a huge streak, and if they didn't get this or Hamnet in, or I guess Anemone, it'd be freaking bizarre. It wouldn't make any sense.
And they're bringing Anemone to New York. You know, it's again, they're diversifying their slate. I think they're trying to see what is going to hit. What's going to be the best?
I still feel like a lot of the Begonia haters, like, I still don't know what the justification is other than that you can't buy that Yorgos didn't make a period movie and therefore he can't get in because he didn't make a...
No, listen, if Begonia doesn't get in, that's what we're going to say to justify it.
It would be that it wasn't as good on par with The Favorite and Poor Things.
I don't know, I think it tells you something about like a Yorgos Lanthimos film set in contemporary modern times versus, you know, a fantasy or a period Yorgos film. Like, I think there is a difference between the viability for awards voters.
I mean, this one seems like a relevant, like, social commentary comedy drama. That's like, that kind of thing gets into the Oscars.
Sure.
So I don't really see the big problem.
I'll tell you what, I took it out for a second, and right now it's at number 10, where I'm on the edge with that movie. Every year there's a film that seems like it could be a juggernaut from like a big director that just doesn't hit as hard as you are anticipating, and it falls off the wagon. If it doesn't happen to Begonia, like, what would it happen with?
I think it is important to have a focus movie in here. And I still don't quite believe in Hamnet.
Why not? We should talk about Hamnet.
Hamnet is going to TIFF and Telluride. These are the less criticky festivals.
Right.
And it's the new Chloe Zhao movie. I think this will be less acclaimed. Here's the kind of contender I think Hamnet could be. I think that probably it's not 90 on Metacritic Chloe Zhao territory like her not her last two, but The Rider and Nomadland, okay?
Yeah.
I think that it could be like a Maestro where critics generally think it's very good, and then audiences like it because they're crying and they like the performances and the crafts are good. Like, it could be that. I do think that it not going to Venice is a little weird because she won the festival. Not too long ago. I tracked the Focus Features movies from like the last, 10, 12 years. Like they're in a good streak right now. One of these is going to get in, I think. It's also worth noting that usually, and I actually, I can't find one year where it was the case that 3 studios got multiple movies in. Granted, if we have a field of 10 right now, and that's probably more likely than ever, of course. But usually that doesn't happen. And there's not really a lot of things that you can do without having a Focus Features film in that result in not having 3 duplicate studios. That's all I'll say. So I'm going to keep a Focus Features movie in. It's going to be Begonia. I'm not going to take it out just because of the festival things. That is a good reason to be skeptical, but I feel like I'd be a coward if I put aside everything that I've said about why I believe in it just because of that. Hey everybody, this is us from the future. We've made a decision regarding this matter of Focus Features. Something about holding on to Begonia right now feels like I'm just justifying something that's just a sinking ship. I don't know.
Here's
why
the thing. Listen, when we made a judgment about Hamnet early in the year, we were just saying, maybe that's just not the one that hits, and it kind of resonated with people that like, okay, I can kind of see that, but I'm reassessing now. And there was a Vanity Fair piece as well this morning that really got us thinking. Hamnet doesn't look that bad. Okay, I think we were just, my head was too buried in the sand. I'm ashamed to say it, but I care about being accurate. And so I'm changing my opinion because I do think this is kind of the way to go now. Like, Hamnet seems like, even though I could see some people feeling like maybe it's a little bit of a slow burn, maybe it's like not their kind of movie. For every person who thinks that, I feel like there will be someone who thinks it's actually really good and masterful. And the other thing about Hamnet is it has the potential for a lot of nominations. We're talking adapted screenplay where there's like no Best Picture films in that category. Jesse Buckley and Paul Mescal seem like they're going to be part of the Oscar conversation no matter what. Like, there are elements of Hamnet that I think will be nominated or talked about no matter what, including cinematography and score and the costumes, production design. And so it's kind of an Oscar bait film. Like, even if it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Obviously, it's Oscar bait.
And I could see a lot of people thinking like, that was really good. I loved that. Maybe not everybody loved it, but that can be enough to get you into those bottom 5 slots.
So it's probably going to get very good critic reviews. It's going to have above an 80 on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that there will be a contingent of people who are not that into the movie and who think that it's kind of just Oscar bait and getting into the conversation mostly off of being a tearjerker, and they can get behind the performances and some of the crafts. Maybe this is a little bit what happened with Maestro. And Maestro similarly raised a lot of doubt from pundits, including ourselves, shamefully, at the beginning of the year when it was just, it was an Oscar bait movie all along and it got in off of the performances. I think that Buckley and Mescal getting in is not that hard, and if they're in, and the movie's making people cry, I think that's really kind of all you have to do. Part of the reason I'm anticipating maybe some more mixed critic reactions is the lack of Venice. I'm assuming that Playing to Telluride and TIFF is that they know the audience is maybe more casual.
More warm to it. Here's where I disagree with you. I do think it's weird that it didn't get into Venice, and I don't know if that's because they didn't submit or because, you know, there was a rejection, but I actually think I'm going to like this movie a lot. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people will not have a problem with it. And they'll just think, yeah, that's like a really good Oscar movie. I like that.
Yeah, I also think it might be like a Complete Unknown. Even in the early days of Complete Unknown screening to critics, and when I saw it, I was like, okay, maybe, like, I can see a couple acting nominations, but the movie, like, I can't even tell how much audiences are going to like it, but then, like, they were really into it. And, you know, there were some people who viewed it as, like, the award season villain because it was kind of just the Oscar bait movie that gets in whatever over your favorite. That's what I think Hamlet's going to be. Maybe everyone loves it, and I'm wrong about that. But
I think some people will connect very deeply to it. That's my thing. Is that, like, some people will really love it, and just that even a small contingent of people loving it means it could get in.
And I also think that Begonia, like, if Begonia slips even a little bit, Plemons and Best Actor, that category is so crowded right now.
Nominations that Begonia could get, it's kind of slim. Like, they can't really get, there's not really a lot of crafts. I guess there's score.
I do think there's something weird about it not going to NIF. Yeah. Like, even Yorgos' short film went to NIF. It's weird.
It's weird, but it's equally weird that Chloe Zhao is not going to Venice.
So I'm putting Hamnet into some categories now. It's not even that hard to squeeze into, like, cinematography, score, Max Richter, costumes, of course. I mean, I don't know. Like,
and if it has a tear-jerking ending, I think it could place for the People's Choice.
I think it's a bottom 5 contender. That's what I think it seems to be.
Yeah.
Maybe Zhao is a directing contender too. I don't know. But I also want to say that part of the reason I think that there might be some, like, animosity towards it is that people feel that Nomadland got too many awards in retrospect. I also have in It Was Just an Accident.
Yeah.
Which I had that teetering a little bit because I was like, I don't know if people care, but here are a couple signs that I think are good. Number one, on Tiffer, the movie is, like, in the top 10 liked. That means...
Because it won the Palme d'Or, of course.
Yeah, but I'm saying for a little bit, it kind of felt like, oh, maybe people are gonna, you know, not, like, care as much about this movie. But I actually think it is very much happening. And Panahi, like, people are gonna watch his movies this year more than they ever have. And the trailer came out, and it kind of sold me, too, because it was a really good trailer. And it sells it as this very sophisticated, highbrow, tense, slow burn thriller that is, like, one of the best movies. It's like a masterpiece from a master filmmaker that you have to see if you care about, like, good cinema.
And I mean, nobody's not going to see this film who cares about movies.
I still think the Golden Globes are going to have this in. Now, funny, now we have to talk about how the fact that the BAFTAs are happening. The nominations for the BAFTAs are happening after the Oscars.
Yeah.
However, I'm not as worried about this being weird because we have the New Globes, and the New Globes will tell us what the international contenders are.
I'll tell you this. If the New Globes do not nominate this, not only will I be shocked, but I'll immediately remove it. I'm saying that feeling very confident that they are going to nominate this movie in Best Drama.
And there's a lot in comedy.
They're going to give it Best Director.
There's a lot of movies that will be in comedy, likely. And therefore, there's definitely slots for it. And I think that they're probably going to put it in director and screenplay, if not, you know, either or both.
Yeah.
I think that will be a very easy indication. If It Was Just an Accident gets nominations outside of international, it's probably going to happen if it gets 2.
And I don't believe that we need to look to Critics' Choice for a nomination here for Best Film. I think if the Critics' Choice did that, it would be like, wow, this movie's really getting in there. But
that's not happening.
Critics' Choice, they ain't like that. They slept on Anatomy of a... Did they?
Yes.
They slept on Anatomy of a Fall, which was like a very... I don't want to say accessible, but like... It was a really well-liked movie.
They did not nominate the screenplay for Anatomy of a Fall. They nominated Sandra Hüller.
That's it. That's the only nomination.
That's so silly.
Listen, and then the PGA nominated Anatomy and Zone of Interest. So it's like the PGA is more likely to nominate It Was Just an Accident than the Critics' Choice are, technically. I think if the Critics' Choice and the Golden Globes nominated it, the PGA would do it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
so, like...
Critics' Choice are going to nominate Avatar in one battle after another. Right? Like, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether or not those movies get in.
They're going to
That's what they're doing.
Films. I agree.
They're nominating Wicked whether or not it gets in as well.
I'll tell you this.
They might nominate Frankenstein also. It Was Just an Accident. I don't have it in screenplay because screenplay is, tight. There's so many Best Picture movies in there, it seems like. I have it in director and picture, and that's it. Kind of weird, but it could happen.
Yeah, so screenplay, I agree, is so tight that I don't even have it in. And I just have it in director and picture. But also, the Zone of Interest snubbed Killers of the Flower Moon.
In screenplay.
And in screenplay. It was unexpected, but it happened because there were 6 films in Best Picture contending, and we got a brutal ass snub.
I guess you never know.
So the point is, yeah, you never know. Like, there could be, maybe Marty Supreme weirdly gets snubbed for screenplay if they are feeling really passionate that day about Panahi. This film will come down to a campaign. I think Neon will be very intent on getting this a nomination because that would be a huge fucking flex. Because I think it's not like a slam dunk movie to Oscar campaign. It does have some challenges, but they started off great, winning the Palme d'Or. Neon is heavily investing in a campaign strategy for many of their films this year. These are all international films. So
I think
these guys know how to play the game.
They're definitely trying with this one.
I think it's going to work. I'm leaning that way at this point. The real thing that would make me say no to this film is if No Other Choice absolutely kills it and is guaranteed a nomination, because Park Chan-wook's films are very acclaimed with audiences. Like IMDb score, Letterboxd scores are usually very high for his films, and so he has like a little bit of a populist like crowd hit edge that it was just an accident, can't quite boast that just based on the kind of film it is. We don't really know about No Other Choice. Like, it's going to be a good film. There's no chance that it's bad, but I just don't know how much of like a breakout it could be. I'm really excited for it. It's one of my most anticipated films looking at the rest of the year. But that would make me take it out because I couldn't possibly have 3 Neon films in there. I would just have to be like, all right, bye. But also, when I look at my list of films and like what could possibly get nominated, I don't have like an overflowing amount of options where I'm going to take this out. Below, It Was Just an Accident. I genuinely don't know if these films will get nominated, and that's why I have it in. Because
like good sign.
because we've seen it. It's just something, it has an established amount of credibility and accolades at this point.
I also think it's going to get a major directing / best film prize from New York or LA, and certainly from the International Society of Film Critics.
But I just want to be clear, I'm not calling it a lock. I don't think this is a lock.
No,
it's Neon's second film. It's their second priority. It's a matter of competition. I'm looking at the films that I also have on this list, and I'm like, I don't know if I would put them above this right now.
So I'm just going to say number 10 for me right now. I am holding on to One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
And, it's got a few problems, right? Like, it's Warner Brothers number 2, and they have, like, a potential winner on their hands that they can just gun it with that movie.
And also has a lower nomination ceiling. Like, I don't think this is going to be a juggernaut with nominations like Sinners will be. They're going to have major box office problems. It's already being reported.
Well, so
and the budget is huge, and that they're on track to make around as much about Killers of the Flower Moon on their best day.
Okay, Killers of the Flower Moon was nominated for 10 Oscars, but I guess that movie was also seen as like, but it's really streaming is where we want to like
exactly.
Get the money.
A streamer had it, so the streamers are like, box office, whatever.
So
this is Warner Brothers.
So we don't. Okay, are we gonna let people's perception of something being a box office bomb hurt it more than the fact that like $20 million for a movie in the Oscar conversation is perfectly reasonable?
I think that happens all the time, though. I think box office does hurt films, and it does tank films that are trying to get a Best Picture nomination.
I think this could get anywhere between an 87 and a 75 on Metacritic.
Yeah, like it's still going to have a good Metacritic score.
I think that this will be, if you pull an aggregate of critics' top 10s, it'll be in the top 10.
You think so?
Yes, because the new PTA is it's just gonna be there at this point. It's just gonna be there.
And so the real problem is not with critics. And it's Critics' Choice is going to nominate it like nothing's happening. That's like they nominated Babylon.
Yes, they will. And also, it's a comedy at the Globes, right? So that's not that hard either.
Yeah, so it's going to get.
And then DiCaprio can get in there. That's not that hard. Will it get director or screenplay at the Globes? That will be important. Or if it can get score.
And the screenplay could be strong. It could get a screenplay or director nomination.
I mean, hey, if it gets score in addition to actor and picture, that's pretty good. Like, this is the thing. I think that the movie can squeeze into a bottom 3 slot based on PTA's name and DiCaprio's name.
And there's also social relevancy in this film, which is unlike
it's very like
other Paul Thomas Anderson films.
It's bluntly like an anti-Trump movie. It's an anti-white supremacist movie.
Yeah.
And I think people kind of want that.
There you go. Voting for a film that you feel like is making the statement and saying the thing that, is on your chest, right? That matters. I am reading this film as like it's going to bomb the box office. It's not going to recoup its money. It's like Warner Bros. Is going to be scrambling about like, oh my God, we have to stop making these kind of films because they lose us money. Paul Thomas Anderson and Leonardo DiCaprio's name is on this thing. It could rack up some significant nominations at Oscar precursors despite that. And I predict that it will. And I predict that the reception will be very good for it. And people will be lambasting like audiences for not checking it out like on Twitter.
So some more negatives is I think that in the grand scheme of PTA's filmography, this will be seen as bottom half.
Yeah.
Not great. With audiences, they probably aren't going to, like, love it, I feel.
But I think Letterboxd and critics, like film fans, will really like it.
I mean, it could have, like, a 3.8 on Letterboxd, right? Like, yeah. I could see that.
But also, I'm saying this, too. I don't think, like, on the topic of it not being one of his best films, they're not even using the festivals as a launching pad to get this movie buzz, which kind of does need buzz. Part of it is said to be, Paul Thomas Anderson's kind of allergic to film festivals. Okay, maybe. The other part is, do they want to premiere at Venice and risk having bad reviews or mixed reviews, and then from that point on, you are labeled as a mid movie or like a movie that's not worth seeing or it's not one of Paul Thomas Anderson's best. Like, they do not want to risk that. And the movie is risking it. Like, that's kind of the buzz around test screenings, is that it's not like a consensus it's his best film. So we're kind of starting off there. It's not a great place to be in, and I'm sure they're worried about it.
Yeah, I mean, people might like it, enough where enough people will actually think it's top 10.
I mean,
maybe put the number ones.
Fucking like Adam McKay can get any film in because people just like his movie.
We've
Even Nightmare Alley got in because people love Guillermo del Toro. That's how this movie could be Nightmare Alley. That's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Also, screenplay is fucking empty. Adapted screenplay is absolutely empty.
Yeah, and think about who could win that category. By the way, if Begonia,
if he picks up a precursor for like even Critics' Choice, I'm like, wow.
Oh, just calm down for a second and listen to this.
Go ahead.
If Begonia's not top 5, why are we giving Will Tracy an Oscar for Begonia?
Right, and like
even if it's in Best Picture,
for a screenplay, exactly. Exactly.
Like, you'd want to give it to Paul Thomas Anderson anyway.
Right.
Like one of the most overdue men for an Oscar, and a writer-director in the category. We're not giving Screenplay to Deliver Me from Nowhere, that's for sure. We're not giving it to Ryan Johnson for Knives Out.
I mean, look, the only other...
He can win Screenplay is the thing that actually keeps me really...
The only thing I think that could threaten it is like if No Other Choice absolutely kills it.
That's
maybe that could
very
win
slim for a possibility.
I don't know if it's very slim. I do believe that No Other Choice might be really, really good. And then people might have to just reckon with like, hey, are we going to like... do an Oscar campaign for this film? Like, is that what's happening with No Other Choice? Gets like a 4.1 on Letterboxd, right? If it premiered with that, you'd be questioning yourself. And
I would be.
Very likely to premiere with a really good score. No Other Choice will probably be a rave-reviewed movie.
Other contenders for the 10th slot that, I would consider Avatar, of course. That could definitely get in, but I'm just not that compelled by like, oh, we'll give it the same 4 measly nominations that the last one got. Like, a little less excitement around it as compared to the 14-year waiting period we got with the last one. Like, I don't know. It'll still probably
James
be good.
Cameron has a way of just like, oh man, he just knocked it out of the park again. I love these Avatar films. I just love them. And then, enough people could vote for it into the top 10, right? Imagine a scenario where there's like not really that many surprise contenders. Let's just assume that we're like fucking right about like a ton of these. And, let's also assume One Battle After Another and Begonia are just not that good. Like, it's going to get in. It's going to enter your top 10 immediately. Because also, I think you and me have a little bit of a bias about not putting in blockbuster films.
Well, it's also
kind of like a little bit of like a blind spot for like how effective a really good box office turnout can be. Like, we didn't really think Wicked would be a Best Picture contender.
My thing, what I'm saying...
And we also underestimated the other Avatar film.
Well, what I'm saying is that the box office will make people think it's getting in... And then will it fade?
Right.
Like, I just
Critics'
remember
Choice
that
will nominate it.
I still stand by though that if there was another month between voting, Way of Water might not have gotten nominated.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, Avatar, this one benefits from the same thing, where it's gonna be striking when it's hot, pretty much. But I think it is gonna fizzle a little bit right for voting.
And I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if we got 2 blockbusters into Best Picture, like Wicked and this.
I mean, Sinners is kind of a blockbuster.
Sinners is kind of a blockbuster, but that's kind of it, right? I mean, Marty Supreme is sort of a blockbuster.
Springsteen will probably do decently.
Yeah. So, you have kind of like a lot of mid-budget movies actually this year, which is cool.
I have Frankenstein as being a top 15. I mean, I'll say this. You look at that TIFF schedule, these boys want a place.
Yeah.
These boys want a place. They want to get this
Yeah.
green guy in the top 3. Now,
Yeah.
The Wild Robot, I've never seen a movie that wanted to place for the People's Choice Award so bad. And it got the audience reviews and the critic reviews where I was like, well, it's going to place, right? And it fucking didn't.
Yeah.
So if this doesn't
never know.
place, then like, you just got to put RIP. I think it's probably an easy tech contender, like 4 nominations at least. But I'm not convinced about the picture. I'm not convinced that people will say that this is like Del Toro's best. I think it'll get very good reviews. Mm-hmm. I just don't think, I feel maybe 77 on Metacritic. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it'll be real. My feeling about the movie, and again, if you just disagree here, like I can't exactly like out facts you, because I don't know anyone who's seen it. You probably don't know anyone who's seen it. My impression is it's going to get craft nominations, and that's kind of it. And it could squeeze in a Nightmare Alley fashion into Best Picture, but I could just see enough people kind of like dismissing like a monster story. I don't think it's going to be his most critically acclaimed film. It does seem more like an audience film. I mean, it's a $120 million budget. I think Netflix expects it to do very well on their streaming platform. Like, it does have a lot of good things going for it. It does have a broad appeal. That's why I think a TIFF strategy makes a lot of sense here. I also think they have a really good opportunity to place at TIFF. I think looking at what could win the People's Choice Award, Sentimental Value, Frankenstein, Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, because like it's a Toronto set film.
Wake Up Dead Man.
Wake Up Dead Man. Scarlet, if you really think.
Absolutely not.
Roof Man, no other choice. No. I know, right? And then if I keep Hamnet.
Ballad of a Small Player.
Ballad of a Small Player. Like, I could keep going and you're kind of like, oh, no. Because there's not that many films here that look really solid. But I think Frankenstein looks like one of the most solid films with one of the best shots to win or to place for the People's Choice Award. Sentimental Value, I think it will be Honora. I'll just say that and like I hope that it's going to place somewhere at TIFF, even though they're not really trying to screen it widely. But the screening schedule for Sentimental Value is very narrow, and they're screening it all in like the very beginning of the festival, and that's sort of weird. Like if I don't see Neon add a screening of Sentimental Value, like add another massive public screening, I won't be predicting it to win the People's. I won't be predicting it to place for People's Choice.
Well, again, they weight it depending on how many screenings. So if the 2 screenings go really well, it can still place.
Yeah, that's true. But I would still want to see another screening like Nora had.
Well, that happens when you place though.
No,
add another screening.
No. It happened before Honora placed.
It's going to happen.
What you're saying is
I
think it will happen, and I think it's going to place. But if it doesn't happen,
House of Dynamite is another Netflix film. What could we see for this one? We could see score Volker Bertelmann. He's back. The man's back.
Yeah.
We could see an editing. We could see sound. It might have good sound design.
Look,
we could see Rebecca Ferguson, supporting actress. Catherine Bigelow. Is there a reason to doubt? Are we dismissing? We do have trailers for all the other Netflix contenders, except for this one.
Yeah.
But it is going to NIF. It's going to Venice. And those are festivals where, you kind of expect that they'll do pretty well with critics.
Yes, absolutely. I think that they feel very confident in this. And if I didn't have Jay Killian, I'd have this in Best Picture.
Really?
Yep.
Well, Netflix used to get 2 movies in all the time.
If we didn't have Detroit in between this and like her last film, we'd probably put this in earlier.
Maybe, but it's also not a true story.
It's not war in Iraq, the killing of Bin Laden.
It's more of a chamber
thing. The gravitas.
It's more chamber, which also Detroit was.
I think it's going to be really good. I can see it being really good and just being a really solid thriller. And then kind of being like a September 5, except like minus the controversy. But even that, I mean, September 5 got plus
visibility.
And there are a lot of categories this film could get into, like editing and you said score. Maybe one of the performances. I mean, you have Idris Elba, you have Rebecca Ferguson. I do feel like it'll get an Oscar nomination somewhere. It's kind of like I gotta just wait and see. It's perched in my list at like number 12, I think. I'm really close.
Oh, really? I have Frankenstein higher than it. So what about Ballad of a Small Player? Because this trailer came out and it looks quite good. Like the cinematography looks really good. And once again, it's probably going to have a really good score. It's going to have a great Colin Farrell performance. An adapted screenplay, I still have it in. It's not that hard.
Adapted screenplay is an easy category for it to get. I think that is very possible.
So what is wrong with Ballad of a Small Player is my question. What is the why not here?
What is the big reason that it's going to be great? Like why?
Why would it be great?
It's a movie about a gambling addiction. I just feel like it might not have enough weight. The cinematography looks great. It's going to have a great lead performance from Colin Farrell. I think someone might get supporting actress hype for it, but it doesn't feel like it has the weight to catapult it into like a Best Picture slot.
So that's it for the Netflix's contenders, unless you want to talk about Train Dreams real quick, which...
They are bringing it to TIFF, but they're not doing...
though. They're not doing a NIF.
Yeah, they're not doing like a robust strategy. I do not think it's at the top of their priority
I don't
list
see
at all.
the moves being made
No, listen,
that justify that price
They're
tag.
making the right calls. Train Dreams, it didn't make sense as an Oscar contender when we saw it at Sundance. It's a very good film. I think everybody should see it. Who's in this audience should see it. But I don't think it's like a Best Picture film. I just don't.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it's like a movie that's mind-blowing that we've never seen this before. It's a strong like Terrence Malick-like film.
Yeah.
And it's more of like a meditation. It's existential. Again, it's like it doesn't have enough gravity.
It's not really an Oscar movie, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, so then let's go talk about The Testament of Anne Lee, which I actually floated this in my 10 for a bit because I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I feel like Amanda Seyfried's going to be freaking incredible in this and maybe she'll win.
No, this is still, I think, in my top 15.
So here's where I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, obviously we know The Brutalist surprised last year and it snuck in there.
Yeah.
But The Brutalist, we had like these rumblings of the word masterpiece, and then it in fact did premiere to those proclamations. There is not a peep on this one anywhere. So, it makes it kind of hard to say that's going to be the case. The subject matter is very intriguing. Musical, 17th century set, biopic.
No, that's extremely intriguing. Like, it's a period film, that musical. Amanda Seyfried seems like she will be giving an incredible performance. Like, some high wire acting right there. It seems like it'll be a real critic smash.
And
like,
the 70
critics will go
millimeter,
for
the
it.
70 millimeter
Yeah.
presentation was, it also reminded me of The Brutalist because it always
course.
feels like a big deal when people are gathered to like see a 70 millimeter movie.
But it could be the kind of film that people say is a swing and a miss. I mean, the fact that The Brutalist worked is kind of a miracle. Like, that is a high wire act. This is also a higher wire act that could be a swing and a miss. Like, I could see people saying this is very ambitious, but it's kind of messy, but I still love it. And if it got that kind of reception, it would not get into Best Picture. Because it's probably not like a big audience film.
I just feel like it's more likely that this movie is not going to be like an on-target bullseye hit.
Yeah. Well, it has to be a masterpiece to get in. And look, I do think it could be a masterpiece. I'm really excited about it. No, it could be. It could be.
I think you're overusing
It seems
the word.
very ambitious. And so if it's really good, then it could
Right.
be a masterpiece. And again, maybe I wouldn't say masterpiece, but other people would say it. And here's the thing, though. Like, The Brutalist, we put that in because we heard, like, little tiny things that it was, like, a really strong film. And we had a Vanity Fair piece that was talking about Adrian Brody's performance here. And, like, they seem to be really cooking something up. If I'm to put in Anne Lee, I think I need to see that happen here as well.
It's also just very difficult to imagine what studio would get this movie.
Yeah. I mean, The Brutalist was so good that it got acquired by A24 and pushed for Oscars immediately. And that's rare. It's a possibility that Anne Lee doesn't even come out this year. It doesn't have a distributor. And a lot of the studios that would buy this film, A24, Neon, they have their plates full. They don't seem interested.
Well,
I haven't
here's the
seen
thing.
Mziah King get acquired by them because they have their horse. That they have these films that they're already trying to take care of and look after.
Well, so they could acquire it as a Best Actress push and not really give it like the Best Picture treatment. That might be a little easier from the handle. For example, Queer was A24. They gave that a Best Actor push.
Yeah.
And they already had like other contenders to push for picture.
No, I
And they
think
were
I
able
think
to
it
handle
could
that.
be acquired. Like it does look like a pretty good package, right? Because they might want to get in with Mona Fastvold and Brady Corbet. Like they might,
They were going to continue
acquiring
the
a Luca
relationship.
Guadagnino film was appealing. Like Queer wouldn't have been acquired like that and pushed for Best Actor if it wasn't Luca Guadagnino. I don't believe. Here it could get acquired and pushed for Amanda Seyfried alone, and that is a real scenario, a very real scenario that like she could just get a Best Actress nomination for this, and then that's kind of it, like a Spencer. It could be Spencer. It could be this year's Spencer, right? And hey, good on them for premiering at Venice because I think this film could have like an amazing Venice premiere, and then slowly more people see it, and they're like, oh, I don't know how I felt about that.
I think we should bring up Rivals of Mziah King into the conversation because it's been acquired by the studio that produced it, Black Bear, because they are opening up a distribution studio.
Yeah.
And so they're saying, fuck it, we'll do it ourselves. And, honestly, this is a good move for them because I think that they like took in some guy who just became like the president of their new distribution team. And he has worked at like another big studio or something. And the announcement happened pretty recently after that. So maybe this guy really made that decision for them. And he's worked on other films that have been nominated and campaigned and gotten Best Picture. So like
that's what they said about the guy who
who did The Apprentice, and then that movie got 2 acting nominations. Okay,
that's true.
Okay, that could happen for this movie. It could actually successfully get itself into Best Picture if they do a really good job with it and put a lot of resources behind it. But we don't even know if it's coming out this year.
Here's why no.
Why not?
Why isn't it at TIFF?
Because it's too late. The plan went into motion too late.
Whatever the fucking reason, I cannot put this in.
No, I'm saying...
This strategy will not work this year. It will not work. This movie will do pennies at the box office, and nothing will happen.
I'm saying...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say it.
Hey, friendo, I'm actually saying that I think most likely it'll come out next year.
Okay.
And I think that it should come out in the fall of next year. Every once in a while, you do get a studio that's not used to getting a Best Picture movie, and it just happens.
It's not going to happen with this film. Phil, what are the studios that has happened with? The Substance, Boyhood,
Spotlight. Drive My Car, it happened to.
Sure.
All I'm saying is, Mzai King does have stars in it, by the way, and you don't have a trailer, so like you don't know. Like if it had a trailer in front of you, you'd be like, "Oh, that looks really good. It looks really appealing. I can see how people want to see that movie. It's going viral on Twitter." Well, I'm just saying. I don't think it's going to make no money and be nothing. I think that the studio can do something with it.
I think you're
I don't think
optimistic.
It's over.
I think it could be a blip. Think about Life of Chuck. Oh, that had stars. It had even a big award behind it, but
you know, it's going to have a weird
release.
As well as I do,
it's going to be weird and awkward.
Life of Chuck never made sense to get that many nominations.
I know.
We know that Mzai King can get, as we said, we were predicting earlier in the year, 9 nominations.
I'm embarrassed. I'm actually embarrassed to even say it. That could get, at this point, no. At this point, no.
I'm saying maybe next year if they do a good job, because this year it doesn't seem in motion.
It will not happen next year.
If they put it in the second half of the year,
they're not going to do that. It's not going to happen.
I won't predict it until I see
this is the kind
it
of
happening
film,
in motion, but I'm saying it could happen.
So a film that premiered at South by and then comes out the full next year is going to get enough Oscar buzz?
Whatever.
Who's not even campaigned by a major studio? Like...
Whatever, who knows?
What is going to make a huge mark? What is it going to be?
That it has another wave of critic hype and people like Matthew McConaughey.
It's way too speculative for me at this point. Also, let me just say this about Mzai King. We gotta reckon with the fact that thing had mixed reviews. It had very good reviews, but they were very mixed.
You're so silly. Can you tell me what it has on Rotten Tomatoes again? A 97 with like an over an 8 average rating?
Yeah.
Are you okay? Well, it's really good.
It reminds me of Seat of the Sacred Fig in the sense that movie had like great reviews, but there was also like people saying it wasn't amazing. And then I watched it and I was like, yeah, I also don't think it's amazing. I think that movie has problems. And that's kind of how people seem to feel about this movie. Some people are just like, that was fucking amazing. That was it. And then other people are like, you know what? The last half didn't work for me.
That's fine. Seat of the Sacred Fig had a max 3 nominations going for it, okay?
I know, but it wasn't like a slam dunk, and this movie isn't either.
It's not a slam dunk, but it has
a lot more...
We're
not even considering it for this Oscar season, are we?
No, but
I will kill you if you put it in your list next year. I'm gonna kill you.
I'm painting a picture for you of a scenario where it works. I'm not gonna put it in my 10.
And it looks like a fantasy.
I'm not putting it in.
It looks like a child's fantasy.
I think if you saw the movie, you'd have a little more hope, because I still believe that like the people who saw it saw something. After The Hunt, I smell something rotten.
This is the garbage. This is it.
This is what you're smelling. What is that? The poster is the sun.
Oh,
I don't know if this is a bad. I don't think it's gonna be bad like the sun, but something about it is just giving like that this isn't actually going to hit, and it's going to have mixed reception.
Yeah,
Room Next Door at best.
Right. I'm kind of feeling that too. However, with acting buzz that exceeds Room Next Door, I think.
Buddy, you can't say that. Not that somebody must get in for acting. I think probably Andrew Garfield's not a thing. I think it's actually
probably he's going to be a thing. I think he'll get hyped.
It's Roberts or bust. Yeah, and she might even be bust.
I think she'll get in.
We do not know. We do not.
We don't know. We don't know. But
that movie could be nothing. All right. Amazon's empty-handed.
Hold up.
Because that one other movie, The Preparation for the Next Life, is absolutely nothing.
Absolutely not. No.
All I can tell you
are not amazing.
All I can tell you is the vibes are off. Like,
I think the vibes
even the trailer, like,
yeah,
it looks like I can see how it would be good, but there's something about it. It's like this just doesn't seem like it's gonna get into Best Picture. I don't know what it is.
I mean, a lot of people do have it in though. Like, I don't like it is number 10 for Best Picture, and in fact, 41% of people have it in. It's the same as tied with Avatar, fire and ash.
May I talk to
So-
you about The Wizard of the Kremlin?
I do want to say as a counter argument that it's kind of an awardsy film. Like, even though it has a little bit of like a weird vibe, bit of like a mystery thing going on.
Because
maybe.
this had Oscar bait vibes.
No, yeah, sure, but like, you know, as far as what kind of films get into the Oscars and like their genre, I think it's pretty aligned.
I understand that it's a prestige drama.
Yeah, prestige drama.
I understand that.
It is a package.
It has a great director. It's got an Oscar-winning actress.
Yes.
It's got
Like, there's not a chance it gets
bad.
bad reviews. It just might have like a little bit of a mixed
It
reception.
could even get mixed reviews. It could even get a 56 on Metacritic. I'm saying on its worst day, it's like, whoa, After the Hunt, like, kind of sucked? What the fuck?
That's too much for me.
Hey,
Even Queer, like,
it happens. Does it not happen at least once a year? That a movie, like, actually, whoa, this one, like, sucked a little bit.
No, that
Whoa.
doesn't happen every year.
It does.
Because listen, like, Queer wasn't as good as people thought
not-
it might
I'm
be,
not
but
saying
it was
it's
still
queer.
a really good movie.
I'm not saying it's queer.
I'm just giving you an example.
I'll talk to you about The Wizard of the Kremlin because this is going to Venice and TIFF. It does not have distribution, but it could be acquired as maybe a supporting actor play for Jude Law playing Putin. You also have Paul Dano in the lead role.
Yeah.
The Oscars hate him for some reason. And you have Alicia Vikander in a supporting role. It's actually kind of a prestigious package here. And Oliver Assayas directing it. Like, he's kind of been hit or miss lately. And, you know, he's a recent movie that's kind of political. Wasp Network was pretty much a flop. This has potential. Like, adapted screenplay is open enough. It could get makeup. It could get an acting award or two. And the movie's political and it's targeting like Putin, and people fucking hate Putin and they would love to see a movie take him down. That's kind of what the Oscars would like.
I haven't seen like all of Oliver Assayas' films, but from what I gather, Closet Stills Maria, personal shopper. He's not someone who I would think of as having an awards contender on his hands. Again, he did have that political thriller Wasp Network.
What about
which
Carlos though?
really didn't seem to do very well.
He directed Carlos and like Irma Vep.
So I don't really know what to expect. Like my kind of takeaway is I don't know what exactly to expect because it does have a really nice package here with the actor. It's kind of Oscar bait. Like Jude Law, you can see pictures of him online. Like there's makeup. Modern political figures caked in makeup can get nominated.
Also, the book it's based on is very acclaimed. People think it's really good.
I think this looks very promising. I'm anticipating that the movie will be good and not like amazing.
Probably.
You know, it's kind of a hard sell that this is going to be a major breakout, get acquired by a major studio, get pushed into Best Picture, but I could see it getting like makeup and supporting actor.
At this point, we're getting kind of into the weeds here, where I'm like, I really don't believe that strongly in anything.
Okay,
but
I have a couple. You know, Anemone, I do want to look out for that because that could get Daniel Day-Lewis nominated. I think they're feeling pretty good about that film. It seems that they put it at New York Film Festival because it's kind of a critic movie. I think they'll get a really good reception at NIF. Maybe Ronan Day-Lewis will be put on the map as an exciting filmmaker. I've also heard early buzz that it's a little more of a critic movie. Like it could get really good reviews, but it's kind of like art house. And I think that's really good. I think that kind of film could get an acting nomination or maybe even 2 or 3. You get Sean Bean and Samantha Morton in supporting roles here who could be really strong. And what if Sean Bean gets supporting buzz and with critics? I don't think it would break into Best Picture. It seems kind of like a long shot, but it does have some performances that really make me give it a second look. Now, we should talk about Weapons. Even though I'm not going to go ahead and predict it in Best Picture, I feel like it's solidly a top 20 film.
No, it's not.
I think it's solidly a top 20 film.
It's actually below 20. It's not actually going to be close.
See, here's your list. Let me tell you.
I know what my list is. I have my list in front of me.
Hey, let me tell you what your list is, though. You have 15 movies that could actually get into Best Picture. You have like 5 movies that absolutely nothing will happen, and they'll be so guaranteed to be out of the race that you won't even think about them. No one will even, you won't even consider putting them in. You're like, that's dead.
Hey.
Hamlet's dead.
Oh, you
don't
didn't
even said.
What you
Whatever
don't
it is.
know, Weapons is like, it's not even going to be close. It's going to be out.
No, and then what's going to happen to your list? You have 1 through 20, and then Weapons is here. It's 22 for you. And then all these films get canceled, and then it goes like this.
Oh, Weapons is over there.
It's
actually.
like Challengers.
Weapons got canceled too.
No, it's not like that.
It's not like Challengers.
Because guess what? Weapons was successful. It has a great IMDb score. It had really good
It's a
box
horror
office.
movie. Great, it's a horror movie.
Slow down there, friend. And it has Oscar buzz. I know the reason it has Oscar buzz is because
It has Oscar buzz?
it has Oscar buzz.
To what capacity?
It's there.
Aside from Amy Madigan? No, it does not have Oscar buzz, actually.
Saying Amy Madigan has Oscar buzz is the same as saying Weapons has Oscar buzz.
But it can't get in for any other categories.
I know.
You think it's going to get supporting actress in picture?
No. Buddy, I'm telling you that it's like number 19 on my list. I'm just trying to justify it here by telling you it's actually like, that's where it is. Okay? My whole argument here has been that's where it actually is. I don't think it's going to creep into Best Picture, but we have to reckon with the fact that, like, there are people who want it to happen, and we're at the board. Oh, I've seen them. There are people who really want Weapons to get nominated.
No, I haven't seen. I have not
that's
seen
funny.
that. I'm sorry.
You're just missing the tweet.
Listen, people don't actually think that's one of the best of the year.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's so
what
far.
What does this have on Letterboxd?
A 3.8? Big fucking deal.
Yeah.
A 3.8? Big deal.
So you don't think that any critics are going to put it in their top 10?
Some
things.
It's not going to be top 10 aggregate on critics lists.
I'm just telling you where I think it is. And we probably agree more than we disagree.
It's hardly on the list.
It shouldn't be hardly on the list.
Like, it's just not going to happen. It's like a 1% chance.
3% chance.
That's where we disagree. Make the case.
The reason Weapons has Oscar buzz is because, one, like you said, Amy Madigan was, like, seriously fucking good in the movie.
Okay.
Number two, it's August. And nothing has happened. And people are, like, at this point, it's considered one of the very best films of the year because the year has barely fucking started.
Okay.
That's the facts.
There's one contender from the first half of the year, unambiguously.
I know.
Tell me the world where the movie gets in, and tell me why it gets in.
I can't make a good case for the movie.
Okay.
It can't fit into screenplay. Screenplay is way too crowded. If it was an adapted screenplay, we would have to seriously talk about whether it could get adapted screenplay, though.
Maybe. Movie doesn't have anything to say. And
well, people disagree about that, but that's okay.
Maybe they're hallucinating, maybe they're not. Not for me to say. Mostly fun. It is engaging on the level of, like, a prestige drama in a sense, where you're, like, into the characters, into the stories. I'll give it that. I don't think people are taking anything away from it that seriously. It is zeitgeisty. It made a lot of money for an original film. That's true. But horror does that sometimes, and that's not, like, that unusual.
Well, the last two times it happened, those films are getting into Best Picture.
Those films were social horror.
I agree.
A lot of commentary.
This film does not have any social commentary.
And the crafts and weapons are good, but it's not going to be nominated for the Craft Awards.
It has a 3 nomination ceiling, and and 2 of the nominations like almost impossible to see it getting.
It's maybe like The Sixth Sense, but The Sixth Sense made people cry, and it was a bigger deal.
I mean, The Sixth Sense got director. Like this,
Sixth Sense was a huge.
This
deal.
would not get director.
I know
either. This movie can't get pulled in by Amy Madigan. Spoiler alert for supporting actress. Amy Madigan's going to get Critics' Choice, and she might just tap out right there. That's going to be the last nomination of the season that she gets.
She could get SAG. They like horror.
Maybe she gets SAG.
In the sense, and remember this: Lupita Nyong'o was a serious prospect for us, but
how many times
was not on your Best Picture 20?
Just because it happened last year, and last year was like a total fucking exception, doesn't mean it's going to happen every year. And honestly, again, the exception to the rule means that the rule still applies. It doesn't break the rule. Amy Madigan is going to be probably one of those horror performances that everyone says should have gotten an Oscar nomination, and it didn't happen.
Yes. Like Toni Collette.
Like, again, I think she has a chance because I'm telling you she's going to get a precursor somewhere. And
she may miss.
But it's the kind of thing that by the time the Oscar comes around, it just doesn't happen.
I actually don't. I think she very well may not get a major precursor. She may get a couple critics groups.
Let's put it this way. You're the only viable nomination for a horror movie. You are not getting a nomination. Like, it doesn't happen.
We could talk about, is this thing on? Searchlight.
Yeah.
Going to NIF. Bradley Cooper's directing. But this does seem like much of a more small-scale drama. Drama comedy about, like, a comedian who's going through a midlife crisis. Laura Dern's in it. Will Arnett's in it. Will Arnett being the lead role and the co-writer is probably the biggest, like, Oscar red flag, because I don't see him being in the Best Actor conversation, and I feel like that's what would have to happen for this movie to be in the Best Picture conversation, unless Laura Dern or whatever is like actually getting lead actress buzz or whatever.
I think this thing on. It's like about the New York City comedy scene. I think it's much more light fare for Bradley Cooper. This is not as intense, which is good. He needs a little bit of a break after Maestro. He's a fucking intense man.
It's probably going to have tear-inducing scenes because he's Bradley Cooper.
No, I think it's going to be a really good movie. And honestly, I think this would be going to TIFF if it was ready in time. And I think the reason that they're doing the closing night at NIF is because it's still like getting ready. It's still getting edited.
Yeah.
La Grazia from Paolo Sorrentino's new movie.
Meh.
I mean, the only reason I'm putting this in the list,
it's because it's
this high up, is it because like it's an unknown, and at this point, look, if it's one of Paolo Sorrentino's best films, it's possible it could get a lot of buzz. Mubi has it, and if they want to campaign something like, and they want to pick a front runner, they could choose this. This could be their main horse that they try to get into the Oscar race.
Not fucking likely.
Not likely.
Movie also has Die My Love, which is not doing any festivals because it's back in the editing room doing touches, and I don't know what this movie is without that fall festival second boost hype. Like, it's not going to NIF, it's not going to TIFF, like, kind of weird. And where does it really stand after that? Is Jennifer Lawrence still in the Best Actress conversation? I mean, again, Jennifer Lawrence is such a big name, though, that like they can still bring in an audience for the movie. You know, Robert Pattinson and the supporting cast are still really good. You know, they can do some good marketing and get people to see it without doing festivals if they want to. But it's going to be harder to do that. I just don't really think anything guaranteed is happening with that movie.
You know what I have at number 20? And I decided to move it up to number 20 just because I was thinking about The Substance as Seurat. The amount that I saw The Substance becoming an Oscar contender is equivalent to how much I saw Seurat becoming an Oscar contender at this point in the year, which is why I'm like, all right, maybe if The Substance did something like that, Seurat could do it, but it's different. Like, The Substance felt like kind of a revolutionary film. Like, it felt like a step forward for genre. Like, it moved the needle. And, you know, Seurat, like, it's a sick fucking movie. Like, and I really do believe that many people will consider it one of the very best films of the year. But it is kind of a movie that you need to have like a certain taste for. It's a weird movie, and some people might even think it's a little silly, but it is a movie that really impacted me, and I was like kind of shaken to the core. And I talked to a lot of people who it was their favorite film at Cannes. So It is a film that has passion.
I would say if Sergio Lopez was a bigger Best Actor contender, we could consider it more seriously.
I think again, like the problem is that Oliver Locke's like, it doesn't make that much sense that he would get nominated for director for it. Like, he's not well known enough. It didn't win the Palme d'Or or anything. It got the jury prize.
It's also Neon's number.
Yeah, it's like their number
3 or 4.
You know, probably maybe even behind The Secret Agent, because at least The Secret Agent has a Best Actor push.
I mean, so is Sergio Lopez maybe a Best Actor?
No, probably not.
What's it
not
gonna
like
get?
that.
Score, and that's it. Score, sound, cinematography. I mean, I guess
if it got score, it would be like, look, it's like Challengers. Like, it wouldn't make sense for it to get
okay, but maybe the Golden Globes will pull out a surprise nomination for this movie. No,
that'd be kind of sick.
They could pull out a score nom. They could pull out director or drama for maybe.
Yeah, okay. Probably not director. I'm telling you, like, it doesn't make that much sense if he's not, you know, a big name director already that he would.
I guess, but they did nominate Payal Kapadia.
Seurat's a good ass movie. Everybody should go see it. I have it on the radar, but Neon simply has too big of a slate.
It's also just, it doesn't have the level of buzz that, you know, the top Cannes films this year do. And then there is The Secret Agent, which
The Secret Agent, I think that's like top 30, I guess.
Yeah, top 30.
And The Secret Agent, there is a Best Actor campaign in there for Wagner Moura. That actually does make sense. Like, it kind of checks out. I think they're going to push him. I think he's going to succeed and get critics nominations. And it feels like when his time comes, like, people will be ready to embrace him. I'm not sure it's with this movie. I'm not sure if this is the kind of vehicle that you can ride easily into that race. I don't think it can ride easily into, like, even into any Oscar categories, really. I'm not even sure it's a lock for international feature. I think it's like definitely a contender. I have it in.
I think The Secret Agent's getting international.
I think it's getting in, but I don't know if it's a lock. I just don't know. Kleber Mendoza, Filo's films, they kind of operate with their own sensibilities. I mean, the plot here is almost secondary to like more of a cultural exploration and like a portrait of Brazil in this period of time. And it's really interesting, but it takes like a certain kind of audience member to really like get on board with that. And I think Brazil will love it. But Brazil will get it. I don't think everybody's going to get the movie. The Smashing Machine, obviously, like, I think they're trying to go for awards, and I think they have a shot at 3. I think, like, Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt, and Makeup all seem like totally viable nominations that it could get. I don't necessarily expect it to get all those, but,
yeah,
you know,
I don't think this is going to be considered like one of the best movies of the year.
It's strong that The Smashing Machine is going to Venice in competition.
It's doing a lot. It's also going to be at TIFF, and it's doing festivals.
I think F1 is like worth having low on the list. I do not think it has the buzz to get in. Like
F1's not worth. Is it worth having on the list though?
Yeah, seriously, I'll put it low on the list.
In what world? It's gonna get sound, visual effects, picture. Really?
It doesn't
editing,
make any
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Wake Up Dead Man. I mean, you know, last 2 movies just got screenplay.
Yeah,
that's probably gonna happen to this one. Kiss of the Spider Woman. New trailer.
What the fuck are you talking about? It's not even going to Fall Fest. What?
Not even going to Fall Fest.
It's nothing. I've been saying it's nothing. And
production design, costumes, makeup, Jennifer Lopez, maybe.
I'm telling, like, even though you can do the maybe dance, it's absolutely.
I think it's nothing too.
I really think it's nothing.
I think it's nothing too. I have it below 30, so you don't need,
like
you don't need
it's
to tell me.
just the classic movie where it gets buzz at like Sun. Oh, that movie deserved this nomination. But you're just screaming into the void. Like no one else.
You know what
is
I have
listening
it.
to
You know what I have at 30? The voice of Indra Jab. Now the problem here is this movie is about a Palestinian girl who got killed by the IDF. Won't be picked up. Well, actually, won't have a campaign, so I probably shouldn't even have this on the list. But it's the director of Four Daughters and a film that was nominated for international feature. So, the director's had a presence with her like past 2 films of the Academy.
Yeah.
And this is having a nice festival presence this fall.
I think that's totally fair.
But again, like, is it totally fair? Because it will not have a campaign. It will not be financed.
People are coming around on the whole like Palestine thing because I think it's being laid bare like how fucking brutal Israel is being. Also, no one distributed No Other Land, and that still won the Oscar.
But that was a documentary. It didn't
Right.
require like
Of course.
Life of Chuck I don't have anymore. It's
Yeah.
it's actually not possible.
You shouldn't have it anymore.
It's actually not possible.
Where is it on Neon's priority list?
6?
It's negative infinity, actually. it's below Surratt. It's below, like, there's no single nomination it could get. Adapted screenplay. I'll give it that it could get adapted screenplay. It's a Stephen King adaptation.
I mean, at this point, The Long Walk might be more likely to get an adapted screenplay nomination. Who the
No,
fuck
they
knows?
need to push any international film over this just for the default fact that an international film at least has a category you can get
So
into.
I'm going to throw out Sorry Baby as like kind of RIP. Pretty much
Yeah.
RIP. I mean, original has no room. The movie didn't make enough money.
Yeah.
It will be on some top 10 lists, but like,
it's my favorite film of the year.
It's still
so
my
far.
favorite movie of the year.
It's a fucking excellent movie. I rewatched it since Sundance, and I think it's fantastic. And I highly encourage people to see this.
But unfortunately, I would say, as far as the general public is concerned, they have no idea what it is, or you can say it came and went. Like, it's just not hitting in the way that past lives did.
At this point, I think I'm okay to throw this out there without being completely like lambasted. But Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie.
I'll lambast you. You're done.
But it has the potential for a screenplay nomination, and it has the potential to
does
potentially
not really. That's still silly.
get a People's Choice.
That's
placement.
also not going to happen.
It's not gonna happen. But Neon, also Neon has it. Like, there's no chance.
That's
right?
actually their number. I mean, it's less than Chuck. So
Also, what about Song Sung Blue? I heard
What the
buzz.
fuck is that?
I heard buzz that it's a Globe contender.
who the fuck cares?
Ha! You don't know what it is, so why don't you go look it up before
I
you
know
tell
what
me.
that is.
But I think it's old Globes. I think it's not a new Globes contender. But it comes out on Christmas. Hugh Jackman, Kate Hudson,
It's the director of Hustle and Flow, Coming to America.
and Dolomite Is My Name.
Okay, fine. It's a Golden Globe
So,
contender
like-
for the acting categories, and it's not getting picture.
I think it'll be an acclaimed film because he actually does make some acclaimed films. But yeah, it's like maybe a comedy contender. It's not.
like-
It's not best picture.
but it's gonna be-
It's
gonna-
Focus Features.
But it's going to be the case where, yes, it can get 2 acting nominations at the Globes, and then not even be close anywhere else.
what if it had an "I'm Still Here" campaign because Focus Features
what the
said,
fuck?
"Damn it, Hamnet didn't work.
You
Begonia
can't
didn't
give
work."
any movie an I'm Still Here campaign.
Yeah, you can give a crowd pleaser an "I'm Still Here" campaign.
This is the Greatest Showman type of crowd pleaser, buddy. This is a fucking
Or like Being
John
the
Carney
Ricardos.
type
It
of
kinda
movie.
comes out of nowhere.
No. This
It's
is
like
no, this
it's
is
like
not
a Hail
Oscar bait.
Mary Oscar bait film.
No. This
It is. It's
This
gonna be a
like,
Hail
it's gonna
Mary.
be treated like a John Carney movie.
But you could Hail Mary one of his films if you wanted
You
to.
couldn't. You no fucking way.
Like,
You
oh,
couldn't.
we got all this money that we can campaign,
actually
but
couldn't.
Begonia didn't
No,
hit. And
the money
Hamlet
alone
wasn't
is
good.
not going to do that. And yes, they are going to campaign one of those movies because they still have more potential.
Well-
you're done with this one.
Hey, you should thank me for bringing that to your attention.
You're done with this one.
Hedda.
Okay, fine.
Hedda's like
you
a big
You
TIFF
can say
movie.
Hedda, but that's
We'll just say it, and that'll be it. Train Dreams, I'm going to delete. Ella McKay.
You're gonna delete Train Dreams?
I'm going to delete Train Dreams.
all right. Fine.
Oh,
I
would
guess
you say
so.
it has a 1% chance of getting nominated?
Yeah, I guess I'd say 1%.
It's Netflix's number 5
You're right.
at best.
You're right.
Ella McKay, delete.
Yep.
It's not going to TIFF. It looks mid as fuck. I'm gonna delete that from my list.
I've deleted a lot of things. I've deleted a lot of things, and I have no shame about it. If you don't
Nouvelle
see-
Vague. That could get a international film
delete,
nomination. But
Delete.
it's
Sound of Falling is delete, actually. Nuremberg, delete. Goodbye. Done. If I had legs, I'd kick you as number 21 in your app, but that's actually not happening. It's actually not.
Die My Love, absolutely dead, gone, nope, zilch, zero, never a contender.
I said I'm keeping it in 1%.
Die My Love?
I'm keeping it in the
Die My Love, how?
at the bottom.
Are they even campaigning it?
It's their number 1.
It's a fucking niche critic movie. It's not happening. I deleted it. I've seen it. I know it's not gonna happen. The Lost Bus.
That's delete.
We didn't even talk about the Paul Greengrass movie, but
You don't
nobody
have to.
cares. Late Fame, Why is Late Fame in the
Who the Fuck Knows section at Venice?
Yeah, the
But
not-
it is actually
not
showing
competition.
Up, it's showing up at NIF too.
It'll be good, but
It's not Best Picture.
I don't
It's
think
not
there's any
it's not
muscle
happening.
behind that.
It's
I
not
don't know
in Best
why
Picture.
it's doing that. Christie is like probably a
Christie's
nothing
done.
TIFF movie.
So those are our Best Picture predictions. We'll have more predictions before we go to TIFF.
We're gonna do all the categories, right?
Yes,
Every
we gotta do
single
all the
category.
categories. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing.
What do you think could be a fall festival breakout?